definitely not an architect. My role in developing this, our first Plan B, was really to put together the brief and then to make sure that the architectural design that Alex Trovalucci here has delivered met the brief, which I'm very pleased to say it has done. So move on to, just before I move on, can we just adjust the projector so we get the left-hand side of the page visible? Might be to the right, a bit of that. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so first of all, what is Plan B? This Plan B is an alternative station design that provides functional, high quality, attractive, low-rise improvements to Twickenham Station. It's an alternative to Solent's tower block applications that more than 4,000 local residents, local councillors and Vince Cable have demanded. It's a concept scheme that has been designed by local professionals who are passionate about improving the station and the local environment. It's a viable alternative to Solent's high-rise residential tower block, and this Plan B's focus is purely on station improvement. It will enhance the local environment at the gateway to Twickenham, but it won't scar Twickenham and ruin the townscape for the next 50 or so years. Importantly, it complies with the Council's SPD guidelines for the station site. Before I show you Plan B, I just want to show you that it addresses many of the criticisms made of the existing station. Firstly, the poor, insignificant, almost invisible external appearance of the station building. Next, the run-down external appearance of the gantries, or the raised walkways over the tracks. Internally, it's a crowded, cramped and capacity-constrained station entrance, and dark, cramped and claustrophobic gantry that leads to the stairs. It also has poor accessibility to disabled or less able users, even when the stair lift is working. It's also hopeless for people with pushchairs and luggage. And last of the horror pictures, there's some very unattractive cage walkways and grim corrugated walls and roof. I think you're all familiar with the current station. So what about Plan B? Firstly, just before I move on to the images, what does Plan B deliver? Well, firstly, an attractive, open and visible low-rise station. It delivers a much larger station entrance with increased passenger capacity and a spacious gallery. It also provides a wider forecourt, some call it a plaza, I prefer forecourt, which provides improved access from the tram centre without a costly podium over the tracks. We've also improved visibility of the station, the gantry and the platforms from London Road. And it also provides a clear gap between the station building and the Travelodge that is encroached on the site, with views down to the platform and beyond, and even as far as Richmond Hill. Okay, that's the boring bit. Let's have a look at what it looks like from the front. The station images. Perhaps this needs a little explanation. At the centre of the station, sticking out somewhat, is the main entrance, with 4 sets of double doors feeding through to ticket machines and turnstiles and providing much more direct access to the platforms. It's built over the disused area to the side between the current station building and the platforms. To the right, we have the improved gantry with clear glass sides, improving visibility, and also incorporating lifts down to the platforms. And to the left, we have what we're calling the gallery area, with a ticket office and many other units within it, which I'll explain in a little while. So we move to the next. This view from a different angle, effectively from Bridge House, showing the end of the gantry, showing how we removed the horrible old out-of-hours gantry, which ruins the view, blocks the view down the platforms and to the distance. So you can see with the glass-sided gantries, the opening up of the views, lowering the wall, there's a railing on top, suddenly the station becomes visible. Hopefully something we can all be proud of and see what's going on in the station, rather than being hidden behind a horrible brick wall. Next shot. Let's also have a look at the interior, or actual layout of the station. To the left-hand side, well, in the centre, you can see the main entrance is closest to the road, it's closer to the centre of town, and it's direct access either via the ticket machines on the left to the turnstiles, and then very short access through a widened gantry to the stairs or the lifts to the platforms. Behind that and to the left, we've put in a ticket office, a Twickenham information centre. Next to that, suggested two retail units. So, there could be more smaller units or one large unit, perhaps to house an M&S or a Waitrose mini market, and maybe some used, but there's also flexibility there. In the back corner, we have a toilet. And the other side of that, a cafe with some seating area within the gallery area. And at the end of the building, a lift feeding down to the car park and the drop-off area. It's significantly larger space than there is currently, and also a higher space. The roof height will be the order of 6.5 metres, so it's a double height space. Create a very light, spacious environment where I hope people will go out, enjoy coffee while they're waiting for the train or their friends and family to arrive. Okay, that's the view from the front and from above. Let's have a look from, well, just before I move on to the next images. Yes, that's right. Just before I move on to the next couple of images, what else does the sort of station deliver? There's a shorter, more spacious and transparent gantry or walkway to the platforms. So there's 2 lifts to the platforms and 1 lift that I mentioned already to the car park and drop-off area. It also provides lighter and more open stairs and walkways to the platforms. So let's take a look at the images from the platform side. And in this image, you see we've removed the horrible walkways, horrible cages from the sides of the walkway, and just installed simple railings. We've taken the horrible roof off the top of the stairs and put in a glass roof to make it lighter, as well as glass balustrades at the side. And you can also see the lifts quite clearly, and the back of the station building, which is a podium structure over part of the car park. Have a look at the next slide. It's a real platform eye view. Looking back at the gantry from the platform, and you can see from this image the transparency that we've sought to achieve. You can not only see the gantry from the road and the platforms, you can see what's happening the other side of it. It's more open, it's more transparent, it's safer, it's a lot more pleasant. Okay, if I can just sort of summarise the last 2 slides. So in summary, TRAG believe that Plan B is a viable alternative to Solent's high-rise applications. With investment from Network Rail, possibly RFU and other stakeholders, Plan B can become a reality. TRAG also support the inclusion of enabling development, providing it's low-rise and complies with the SPD. There's potential to add a mix of office and residential development to the station building and to the car park to fill any funding gap. TRAG would like to work in partnership with Network Rail, the Council and other stakeholders to take Plan B through to detailed planning stages. So, and finally, just to try and put the station concepts, we've got a view from sort of further back, which shows the station in relation to the sort of centre of Twickenham, London Road, Regal House and Travelodge. And this is what we believe is an appropriate scale station building for its location at the edge of the town centre and in amongst residential homes. That is the first plan B. I'm going to hand you over to Richard now, who's going to